gigantic earthquake supernatural worms, possessed chairs, and demigod cats. What's not to love? Suzume, released in 2022 and is directed by Makoto, who's also behind such films like Children Who Chase Lost Voices, The Garden of Words, Your Name, and Weathering with You. And this film is starring the voices of Hakuto Matsumura, Iri Fukatsu, Shota Somantani, Sare Ito, Kana Hanazawa, and Ryanzuke Kamiki. And the reason why we're talking about Suzume today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel. He strikes again, Dr. Camp. Thank you very much for this recommendation. This is by the same studio and the same director of the film Your Name that you also recommended, that I covered last week, I believe. And I gotta say, I am loving this director and I'm loving this studio. Like, way more than Studio Ghibli. The Boy and the Heron that I reviewed earlier this week, it was kind of lost on me, but this animation style from Comics Wave Films, I am in love with. I love the animation, and I love the stories. Give me more of this, is all I'm saying over Studio Ghibli. Like, I saw that this film lost Best Animated Feature to Studio Ghibli that year. That was wrong. That was a mistake, because this film is excellent. So thank you very much, Dr. Camp, for recommending it. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Suzume is a 17-year-old orphan high school girl living in the town of Kyushu, and one day while riding a bike to school, she comes across a dashing young college student who is asking her if she has seen any ruins around because he is looking for a door. And thinking that this question is pretty strange to ask, she secretly follows him and finds that he is trying to close a door that this strange supernatural worm-like structure and creature is trying to come out of. And after they defeat this earthquake worm, the college student by the name of Sota informs Suzume that there is an alternate dimension where this big gigantic earthworm is trying to come out of through hidden doors all throughout the world. So the movie is both of them, like, she gets inspired, and of course he's just so dashing and handsome that she follows him all throughout the country of Japan to all of these hidden door locations, and they get there like just in time as the earthquake worm is coming out and they're trying to close the door, and she basically runs away from home and just avoids going to school anymore, because once you realize that there is an alternate dimension with this evil force that's trying to break through and will continue to try to break through unless yourself and your friend who possesses the magical key, and because you two are like one of the only few people in the world that actually sees all of this, by the way, I mean, it's your duty and it's your responsibility to travel the country to, you know, save it. So who needs school, you know? So I mentioned that this director in this studio also produced a film by the name Your Name that I reviewed last week. Again, thanks to Dr. Camp recommending that one. And in that film, I said that I was in love with this animation and how they present these human characters through this animation style, and the way that they use the environment and the natural elements of the world and of the sky and the comets and this crazy earthworm thing. I think it's all gorgeous and it's beautiful. Like, this animation is speaking to me and it's connecting with me on an emotional level. When I watched Studio Ghibli and I watched The Boy and the Heron earlier this week, I got nothing. There was no connection at all. And I think it's because, at least so far in the filmography that I've seen from this studio and this director, which is 2 films, so far everything seems to be human-based. We don't have a lot of supernatural animal characters or humans pretending to be animal characters. I guess there is an animal character, a couple animal characters in this movie that do speak and have humanistic characteristics about them. In this one, there's adorable tiny little baby kitten who's running around and he's going to all of the doors and showing them the way, though he's being a little dick. He turns Sota into a child's plastic chair, wooden chair, I guess, and that's how he spends the majority of the rest of the movie, as this tiny little chair. Like, you hear that out loud and you just think, God, that would be stupid. Like, how can you make that compelling? And this studio, this animator absolutely does. You watch this three-legged chair, kid's chair, run around, and you get all of the human characteristics and character facial expressions from it, even though it doesn't have a face. It has little tiny grooves that appear as eyes, but it doesn't have a mouth, it doesn't have a face, it doesn't have brows that go up and down. But yet it expresses itself through the animation, and this audience member gets every single emotion that that character is feeling as a three-legged wooden children's chair. It's so... I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I'm saying this. And I love this character of Suzume. She is just willing to do the right thing, regardless of if she's going to get in trouble, regardless of her parents, or I guess it's her aunt that's taking care of her. She has a moral compass. She knows what is right and what is wrong. She has this gut feeling. And what she is doing with this boy turned three-legged stool, the chair thing, she knows that helping him shut these doors and going around all Japan and doing this is the right thing. This is the thing to do. It's not going to school and just sitting and studying and learning things that maybe you'll never need in your life again. What I need to do now is this, because if I do this is going to save way more lives than me sitting my ass in school. And then through this decision to basically run away from home and worry her aunt, who has sacrificed a lot of things for herself, she's very overbearing, but, you know, she loves this kid. She loves her sister's kid and decides to take her in, and that's her responsibility. She wants nothing bad to happen to her. But through that worry, she becomes overbearing, so there is a strong reason for Suzume to run off and do this, because she doesn't want to be home and being suffocated by this caregiver. And then you have a falling out from Suzume on her aunt when she catches up with her, and they both just air their grievances from the decisions that both of them had made throughout their lives. This film and this studio, what they do, they throw supernatural elements in there, of course, but they don't rely on that. They rely on the human condition, they rely on the human elements, they rely on human emotion and human character relationships in both of the films that I've seen from their studio. I need to see more to have a clear consensus on their vision, but from these last two films, especially this one, Suzume, it's just so beautiful because it's so human and it's so universal. It's so relatable. And then I'll mention again, the animation here is stunning. I love this style. I love what they're doing. It's shiny, it's flashy. The camera is shooting from low angles and high angles and from all over the place. There are some animated scenes where it actually looks like it's a GoPro and you have this concave lens that you see this roundness to the world. I absolutely love it. Suzume is a tremendous animated feature, and I hope that many people out there have heard of this studio and have heard of this film and have watched it, because if you haven't, you are missing out. And definitely check out more. At least Your Name. I know I recommended that one and watched that one last week. Definitely check that one out. And I'm sure Dr. Camp, if you're listening, which I know that you are, you're a big supporter, I'm sure you're probably going to send over more from this studio for me. So if that's the case, can't wait. If not, you know, it's totally up to you. Not pressuring you or anything. I'm going to give Suzume 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Suzume, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.